What's up, folks? It's your buddy Fatalroadie. Tonight we're going to be doing the review of Raw. It's a go-home show before this week's pay-per-view, Great Balls of Fire. We started off with a recap of Enzo and Cass, with Enzo getting a beat down. Enzo comes out, does his spiel as usual, runs his mouth about what happened. This bit was way too long. Doesn't really say much. Just, I'm looking out for number one, basically. Then go to a backstage interview with Big Cass, which was very short because Enzo jumps him from behind. Like I said, this took way too long. It didn't really go anywhere. Our first match of the night was Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. It was a decent match. I'm not a big fan of tag team matches, but this one was pretty good. Nia Jax took out Bayley earlier in the match, which made it a handicap match. Sasha Banks versus Bliss and Jax. Throughout most of the match, Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax hammer down on Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks comes back. She gets the bank statement on Alexa Bliss. She taps out, so Sasha Banks wins the match. We then go to a promo for Great Balls of Fire about Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. Same shit we've seen the past couple weeks. Nothing new has been added to this. In fact, I think it's the exact same promo we watched maybe 2 weeks ago. We could have skipped it. We then have a cruiserweight match. Cedric Alexander versus Noam Dar. Holy shit, we got different cruiserweights this week. Unfortunately, someone backstage forgot to apply the duct tape to Alicia Fox's mouth, because we heard her screaming at ringside. Don't get me wrong, she's a good wrestler, but oh my god, her voice is annoying. It was a decent match. I liked it, despite Alicia Fox running her mouth. She got up on the apron, tried to distract Cedric Alexander. Noam Dar tried to get a roll up on him. That backfired. Cedric Alexander got the lumbar check on Noam Dar and got the pin. We then come to a segment of Miz TV. Yay. We have Maurice and the Three Stooges. For those of you who haven't caught up, the Three Stooges are The Miz, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas. The Miz is sitting there talking shit about what happened last week on Raw, and as predicted, Dean Ambrose comes out. Well, he wants an Intercontinental title rematch. Then Heath Slater and Rhino come out, and Heath Slater's sitting there bitching about he's never had a chance to get the title, so now he wants an Intercontinental match. And The Miz shoots them both down. Kurt Angle comes out. In short, he sets up a match for tonight against Heath Slater for the IC title, and Dean Ambrose is going to face the winner of that match. So we're all going to see what's going to be happening in this one. Right at the start of the match, Heath Slater takes it to The Miz. Halfway through the match, The Miz splits his pants, which caused quite a bit of humor in the crowd. Curtis Axel interferes with the match. The Miz gets the pin. This match was a waste of time. It's all leading into the same booking shit of Dean Ambrose and The Miz, which we've seen over and over again. I'm hoping to God after Great Balls of Fire we never see these two people fighting again. We then have a segment in the ring where Goldust is showing off a video package of the Shattered Truth. Basically, it's just Goldust beating up on R-Truth. We cut back to R-Truth standing right behind Goldust. R-Truth beats the shit out of Goldust. Goldust runs off. So we're going to see this hopefully come to an end at Great Balls of Fire. We then have Seth Rollins versus Kurt Hawkins. Again.
Bruh.
Waste of a match. It all led to Seth Rollins getting the microphone, cutting a promo about Bray Wyatt. We then have a backstage interview with Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. Another waste. Just two guys flapping their fucking gums. Joe leaves his spot on where he's being interviewed to go find Lesnar. He's running all over backstage. The security comes up, starts holding off Samoa Joe. Kurt Angle comes up, tells him he needs to back down. Samoa Joe finds out where Brock Lesnar is located. He opens up the door. Security swarms Samoa Joe, pulls him back away. It was a straight waste. It seemed like this second hour of Raw just was nothing but shit. I mean, we could have skipped it and we probably would have had a better show because of it. We then go to another cruiserweight match, Neville versus Mustafa Ali. This was a decent match. I've never been real big on the cruiserweights, but I was actually surprised on actually both cruiserweight matches tonight. Ali pulled off a horrendous, let me rephrase that, a nasty DDT on Neville. And I mean, Neville was basically just perpendicular right into the mat. It was mean. Neville came back, put Ali into the Rings of Saturn for the tap out. Like I said, it was a decent match. I was highly surprised at this one. Cut to commercial, we come back. Flashy shit McWyatt's back, the eater of burgers, just rambling on shit once again in the desert. They need to do something with him other than what they're attempting to do. One comment I was on Reddit one time, and it's like, well, it's his character and it brings up mystery. It's getting old. I understand the mystery, but it's old. They need to do something with him fast. They have another match, Finn Balor versus Cesaro. It was pretty good. Sheamus was at ringside. The Hardy Boys came out and they were over on the announcer's table. About halfway through the match, Elias Sampson comes out and strums his guitar, distracts Finn Balor, which allows Cesaro to get the upper hand. Elias Sampson interferes, which brings the Hardy Boys down. They get involved. Sheamus gets involved. In short order, basically everyone gets one of their signature moves off, which ends up with Finn Balor getting the coup de grace on Cesaro for the pin. Like I said, it was a pretty good match. I mean, we still had some of the same players as we always do, but at least in the match, we didn't see the same people. So, like I said, it was a pretty good match. We then come to the last match of the night. Braun Strowman comes out and he's calling out anybody for competition. And here comes Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews. Braun Strowman basically dominates the entirety of the match. Apollo Crews does try to make a comeback, about halfway through, but Braun Strowman stops that shit real fast. Braun Strowman flat out pummels Apollo Crews. He gets the pin. Titus O'Neil gets up on the apron. He comes out and starts a fight with Braun Strowman. He gets his ass handed to him. Braun Strowman drags Apollo Crews off to the side of the stage where the ambulance is, throws him in, smacks the ambulance. The ambulance doesn't move. Braun Strowman walks over to the driver's door. He's looking in, he can't see it, so he opens the door, and out pops Roman Reigns. Surprise, surprise. Roman Reigns starts beating the shit out of Braun Strowman, gives him a Superman punch, spears him off of the stage, to which we end tonight's Raw. We had 6 matches tonight. 2/3 of them were decent. 4 out of the 6 matches were decent. The Miz Slater match and the Rollins Hawkins match could have seriously been skipped, or at least reworked, I guess. It's just shit we've seen over and over again. The Miz TV bit could have been done away with. I'm tired of these little bits. I would say this is a below average Raw. The second hour altogether just tanked. I was bored the entire time. It was like, can we at least do something else? In the time we had the Miz TV, the Miz match, and the Rollins match, we probably could have had at least 2, potentially 3 decent matches in that spot. The Miz Taraj bit is ridiculous. You have Bo Dallas wearing one glove and a bandana. I don't know what he's supposed to be trying to be. And Curtis Axel, who I don't even know what look he's trying to go for. They just look ridiculous. And why I call them the Three Stooges. They need to move Bo Dallas over to Bray Wyatt, being that he's already growing his beard out. So he ain't got too far to go before he's got the same look as everybody else in the Wyatt family. I'll be doing a predictions video for Great Balls of Fire later in the week after I take a look at the lineup, make sure there's no surprise matches that come up. But that'll do it for this Raw recap. I will see you all tomorrow for the SmackDown recap. Leave a comment down below what you thought of tonight's Raw, what you thought of the video. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Share this video around. I will catch you tomorrow for SmackDown. I've been Fatalroadie. You've been awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.